Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Lichs Archives. This is going to be episode 6. We have the same cast as last time, and we'll get into introductions. So, James, I believe you are playing Sealiday, correct?
Yep, I'm still playing my... He's an idiot. Let's be entirely honest.
Yes.
If you've kept up with my robe. I'm sorry.
We will be getting into what you managed to pull off last time. Then we have Justin, and you're playing Fizzle, correct? Halfling Artificer. I think you've already muted yourself. Off to a great start already.
Fizzlewits.
Fizzlewits. Yes. And then we
Great
have
start.
Ariel, and you're playing...
I am playing the Bioforged Monk.
Fantastic. So,
Taking the short.
last time, you guys were making your way through the desert. You know, you're in the company of Henry Roswell, the Rabbit folk, who comes from Ithril. He seems like he has a bit more to his character than he was letting on before. There's a brief interaction with another figure, and he's been set off a little on edge, and he's been driving you guys to go a little faster than you were before, and to try to get to this place. He hasn't really said where it's going. It doesn't even seem like he knows where he's going himself. But you guys are probably heading in the right direction. That being said, as you were going towards the coast, you spot this mountain range off in the distance and decide to hunker down for the night when a gleam back the way you came has kind of set the group on edge. You guys went into these canyon and you decided that maybe it's best to set a trap, and this is where Sealiday's robes came into play. It was one of the most bizarre scenes ever set up, featuring dancing goblins, doll within a doll within a doll with a wardrobe inside that you guys decided to use to make some sort of weird camo net for your ground shaker.
Don't forget the goblins were lingerie.
At this point, Fizzle chimes in, and he has a fantastic idea involving gunpowder. Lots of gunpowder.
You can't go wrong.
Somehow, doesn't clue in as to what this whole entails, and they decide to dance with the goblins. Bioforged is still young, it's a little naive, and when there's a chance to live, it's best to take that chance. And that night did end in a memorable way. It ended with a bang, as these Vopfin agents showed up, peeked their head in, got a little scared, looked away, couldn't stop it, had to look again, and at this point, they were in too deep, and the trap was sprung. An explosion went off, sundering the canyon and everything else. Goblin limbs went flying, rocks came tumbling down, and was nowhere to be found when the dust finally settled. Maybe it was the dust, or maybe it was the fact that the other two, still standing, were deaf, blind, and could only hear a faint buzzing as their eardrums tried to adjust to whatever you just put them through. But a rescue mission was mounted, and was found. Using his base of anatomy and hoping that bioforges are roughly the same, you managed to find the restart button on and you're currently waking up. Everything's blurry, there's a layer of dust covering your faceplate, your eyes, whatever it is, and you just see Fizzlewits staring down at you, and he looks quite disheveled.
Was the trap successful then?
Oh, fuck, you're okay. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I'm so sorry about that. Yes. Yes, it was successful.
Wonderful. Can I return to that dancing activity now? It was quite entertaining. I've never done something like that before.
I'm not sure if you've noticed, but you're kind of in a... How do you pronounce it? A big fucking hole.
At this point, you kind of you sit up a little bit and you look around, and you can see a few things are different from last you looked. The goblins are gone. The dolls are gone. There's rocks and everywhere, and a few like pieces of wood that have exploded off of the fire and the wardrobe, and it's just a mess. And much to Steely Day's apt description, you seem to be in a little bit of a crater.
I, I don't know what possessed you to set off the trap, but I
I
mean,
panicked.
you're supposed to be the calm one.
Usually I am. I panicked. I'm
will
sorry.
Against that, being as both of you are organic beings prone to emotions.
The quadruplets, they're gone. And I'll just kind of like reach over and grab one of the arms. Look, that's all that's left of them.
I'm sure there's more. Somewhere?
Can I roll perception to find more of these goblin parts?
Do you know how difficult it is
Yeah, you can
to
roll a
kidnap the
perception.
goblins and put them into a patch?
I thought
We reassemble them.
I thought they just came with your cloak.
No.
You can't just buy another one?
I believe that is called slavery, and it is frowned upon in most civilized societies these days.
Henry speaks up, goes, actually, it was kidnapping, apparently.
No,
Just
I mean
you get
the
4
purpose
goblins
of
in
them.
lingerie drunk.
Did you know these goblins, Steely Day?
For very long. Long enough to ask them to model something for me and then knock them unconscious.
Is this how most of your dates go?
If it helps, I have another forget-me stick. We can get more. And I'm gonna open up a compartment on my arm. I have a needle and thread as well. We can reassemble what we can find.
I don't really think we have time for this, guys. I mean,
We were supposed to be ambushing the ranger, whatever that thing was, and instead we have a slightly dirtier crevasse. Slightly.
Maybe. I really did think it was the ranger. I didn't know it was gonna be whatever these peaky eyes are.
well, it might be worth digging them out and taking a look, or we could, get moving. I'm sure if the ranger was around, he is probably on his way, now that that happened.
I can dig, and I'm
I-
just gonna start picking up rocks and throwing them away.
I would like to take a look at what they were wearing. It could make for a very interesting outfit.
You just wish to refill your wardrobe, don't you?
That is besides the point. Can you really blame a man for loving a dress? I don't think so. That's not fair of you.
I can.
They weren't wearing dresses, though.
No. But I would like to wear one.
Okay.
That being said, are we going to investigate the bodies, or are we going to reconvene in a less disgusting place?
I'm gonna get the ground shaker ready. How about that? You guys do what you need to do.
Capital.
I'm gonna continue searching for the other bodies.
Okay, can I get a investigation or... are you digging through the rubble?
Yes,
Then it'll be investigation.
I am particularly digging through it.
Okay. And Henry is going to go with Fizzle and help you deal with the giant mess of clothes that you guys wrapped the ground shaker in.
That's a
Um,
15.
And what are you doing, Steely Day?
I would like to go drag the bodies in, like,
Well, you'll need to uncover them. They're currently under quite a few tons of rock.
I knew they were there, and then I haven't looked for the bodies, so
Yeah, I mean, like, the only thing that was really exposed was, like, a couple of arms from the goblins who were closest to the blast and kind of got shredded. Everyone else, though, has pretty much been covered by
alive.
the stones.
Fair enough.
You can help me dig through the rubble.
I suppose. I'm not getting my hands dirty though. And I'll just basically stand like a construction supervisor. No, over there, that big one.
Can I get advantage?
Yeah, you can roll with advantage. I'll also get an athletics check if you're actually moving the rocks as well.
For 2 highest, that's 17 on investigation.
And I'll use a mage hand to assist.
Athletics is 17 plus 9.
Okay, I mean, you're able to move some of the smaller rocks, and it's enough to get some of the other boulders to, like, come down. Soon enough, you start to uncover part of a body. You can make out what used to be plate or half plate, but, like, it's on a body, and it's been pretty mangled. It's dented in some places. With quite a bit of work, you could maybe get it back, but it would need to be... It would be a big project to get this armor to be any close to what it used to be. And you move a few others, and you eventually find, like, his arm, and you find, like, some leather gloves here and there. You find various parts of people with certain parts of metal and leather. It looks like most of them were wearing chainmail. It looks like some of them had maces and swords. And you also find a couple of badges with a house symbol on them. But anything that was cloth hasn't really survived, and anything that was metal is pretty bent up at this point. But if you want raw materials, it's quite a bit of it.
I'm gonna take the sigils.
The sigils.
I know, rip them off, cut them off, what have you.
Well, with that, you'll probably find out of the... You saw a couple of figures. You'll probably find, let's say, 2 sigils.
Are they the same one?
Yep, same one.
Okay, I'll take both of them. And just stuff them in a compartment on my hip.
Okay. Are you grabbing anything else, or are you just leaving the bodies as they lay, or...
The parts aren't that usable.
Anything that seems like it would be good working material or seems of value. So, like, sigils would be of value, that sort of thing.
Well, like I said, you could probably grab, like, you could say crushed half plate. Or you could also probably grab, like, we'll say 1.5 pieces of chainmail armor. .63 repeating, of course.
Okay, since we can't, there's probably nothing really.
Yeah, let's get that, and I will put it into
Well,
a
it
thing.
was great before. I mean, like, they came here fully out and ready to go, but, you know.
And then almost a 6 on the Richter scale kind of put that to rest.
Yeah, the thing is, armor doesn't really stand up well to that, you know. Imagine
To
a guy,
murder?
like, you need to imagine someone that's been smashed by a rock, and you're like, that doesn't look like a chess piece anymore. Doesn't look like a man either. That doesn't look like a chess piece either.
It's just like weird tinfoil smudges on the ground.
Yeah, basically. You know, it's it didn't do its it tried to do its job, but this isn't what it signed up to do.
Bad touch, bad touch.
So, do you want to take anything else there? Or you just grabbing those patches?
Probably just those.
Just those. All right.
I'm taking the patches, not you.
All right.
Fight to the death.
I mean, you're standing back. You know, you've decided to stand back. So, like, they'd see them and grab them first, right? To be fair.
Yeah, of course.
Meanwhile, Fizzle, what do you mean by prep the ground shaker? What goes into this process?
Really just getting all the clothes off and uncovering it and getting it started and warmed up.
Oddly enough, like, you go up, right, and you're a little short, and you're kind of like, how do I get this off? And you put your hand on it and just give it a tug, and turns out it wasn't really secured very well, and it just, like, it all just comes down on top of you. Do you want to make an acrobatics or a dexterity saving throw, or do you not care that this is just going to cover you?
Does he hear it coming?
That's a better question. Yeah.
I mean, like you're looking up and like you give it a tug and suddenly it's just sliding towards you. Like you're well aware that it's coming.
Like, this is my life now.
I'll try hopping back.
Try hopping
Ooh,
back.
that's not good. That's not good. 12.
12? Nope. It covers you. And with all these holes, it's a way better net than it ever was as camouflage. And like you're pretty stuck into it. And Henry's trying to give you a hand, and Halfling's going one way, Net's going the other, Bunny's going the other way, and like from where you are, Day, you're like giving your orders, but you see out of the corner of your eye back towards the ground shaker what's just a mess of a halfling stuck in what's probably 100 feet of net.
Goodness, what did you get yourself into?
I would like to throw a hunk of bloody flesh at Day.
While he's looking away.
Yes. Aiming like right for his chest.
Well, make an attack roll for me.
What a dick.
And just my dexterity, no proficiency bonus, because Well,
Just make the roll. Let's just see what happens. We'll consider it improvised, so you can roll with your dex.
yeah, okay. That's dirty 20.
Dirty 20? I mean, so you look away for a second, and as you're like lecturing them to be more careful and, you know, what did you get yourself into, you just feel like this dull thud against your chest. And you look down to see what might have been another guy's half of a chest just like fall into the floor, and then you just have like this dusty, bloody stain on your tunic. And staring at you, and they're crimson up to their elbows from
We should
lifting
bring
this thing.
back some biofuel.
We should bring back one of your legs. And I'm just gonna try and kick your leg out from underneath you.
I mean, they're away from you. They have to throw this. You'd have to go towards them.
I'll run at them.
Okay.
I'd like to just hold out my hand and attempt to like hold him back.
Like,
Make opposing strength checks unless you want to try to dodge around it for me, see what
definitely gonna dodge because.
Alright, so they'll
Bard.
make a strength,
Because
you'll make
you.
an acrobatics check.
Is this athletics?
Yeah, it'll be athletics.
24.
Yep, seems you're on a hot roll tonight, so.
Alright, so they hold their hand out and they kind of like catch you by the shoulder. What did you get exactly?
I got a 17.
A 17. It's close and like you almost slip to the side, but this moment is kind of broken as you like hear Henry go like, "Oh, there we go," and he finally like manages to lift the net up off of Fizzle.
Oh, I was gonna tell Henry to stand back, actually.
Oh, what was the plan?
Oh, wow, all of that was
There's no
going
plan.
on. Yeah, Henry, stand back. I've had enough of this shit.
There you go.
And I cast Thunder Wave.
Okay, I mean Henry will like step back instead. He's walking towards them, like yelling at them to stop, as you like set this off. And remind me, Thunder Wave. It does damage to everything, or?
Yeah, everything in like a 15-foot radius.
I mean, yeah, like it'll shred the net because it's like very small pieces of cloth that have been like loosely connected with the mending cantrip. So as Henry's walking towards you guys, he's like, "Hey guys, could you?" And so there's just like this boom, and fabric goes flying everywhere. It's on the rocks now. It's in the air. It's slowly drifting down to settle on the ground around Fizzle, who's now sans net, standing where he was.
Now, you see, not many problems cannot be fixed without a good explosion. Solves so many things.
I am
Giving
beginning
you-
to see the benefit of your gunpowders.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to be messing around with that very much more. That was.
Did you run out?
Hmm?
Did you run out? I'm gonna pick up a chunk of a leg. Perhaps we can turn this into more of your fuel for that.
Not quite how it works, but I appreciate the thought, and I am out, by the way.
Well, that is unfortunate. And I'm gonna stuff the whole fucking, like, meaty, bloody thigh in my bag of holding.
I'm just gonna start getting
Along with
unchanged.
any large chunks of body that I find.
Okay, so you start gathering up a couple of body parts that you can find strewn around the place.
Stuff that would make for good biofuel.
Okay.
I'm gonna get undressed, and I'm gonna get changed in one of the princess's gowns that I have in my bag of holding.
How tall are you?
Cielo Day is 5'4".
5'4"?
Nope. 5'5".
5'5"? I mean, it's a little long for you. And it just kind of like pools on the floor around you. It seems like she was a little on the tall side, and she was quite wide in the shoulders, being as she was a lizard folk.
A what?
So it's like you're not really wearing this dress as much as swimming in the dress is.
That's fine. I'll take out some cloth and I'll make myself like a nice like I'll tie it up with a ribbon. And since I'm already going, I may as well give myself like a.
You can roll me a d20 and add your proficiency. I feel like messing with clothes is something akin to something you're used to.
Plus disguise kit.
Yep, that too.
Did you find any goblins?
I found pieces of goblins, and I'm gonna wave at you with an arm, and then tuck it away.
That is a 21.
21? I mean, yeah, like
on it.
a couple of pulls this way, a couple of ties that way, and it looks like it should fit, and you just have some very, like, puffy sort of sleeves up here and up here where you need to gather the fabric up around you. It's artistic and functional, but you probably wouldn't hold up very well against explosions.
The man made of metal would handle explosions better than the man made of silk. Really?
So, Fizzle,
Who would have thought?
what are you up to as he's getting his dress ready and Chick is gathering up various body parts, and Henry's just managed to slink his way back towards the ground shaker, not wanting to be involved in this?
I'm getting in the ground shaker and getting it warmed up.
Alright, so you're turning it on.
Yep.
Alright.
As soon as I finish getting my wits about me, I'll probably head back to the ground shaker since that seems to be the main place to meet, effectively.
The valley point, so to speak.
Yeah. Thanks, Brain.
And
Yeah.
our only mode of transportation.
No,
And
not important.
are you following her as well after you finish getting a couple more?
Yeah, once I feel like I've gotten like a decent amount of fuel, I'll head back.
Alright, so you guys are all on the ground shaker and, warming it up, maybe like sweeping out the dust if you're Henry. Chick comes up a little bit after you guys. Looks like they have like a sack of some sort, and it's already just dripping blood as they're like walking up this the ramp, the entrance ramp to this place. This
I'm
machine.
gonna throw my sack of flesh into a corner, secure it with some ropes, go take the driver's seat.
I'm really starting to regret deciding to study the Freeman Society.
Maybe we could just put that wherever it needs to go first. I really don't want to sit next to that.
Oh, this must be taken back to the ground shaker
Oh,
and turned into fuel.
oh, we can't do it in this one. Oh well, I'll sit over there, and Henry will just make his way to like the opposite side from this thing, and he like sits down and realizes like now all he can do is look at it. So he moves back to the other side, but a couple of seats down again. He buckles himself in, and he's just kind of has his hand up.
His ear folded over.
Yeah, he's like blocking it with his ear.
So,
Where to?
do we know anything about that bee man?
Oh, we do know this, and I'm going to take off one of the patches. Take one of the patches out of my compartment and throw it at Fizzlewitz.
Okay, what kind of patch?
So they throw it towards you, and you catch it. And looking down at it, you can see it's the badge from one of the guys that was lost in the explosion. And you, being from Ithril, recognize it as it's a symbol of the House of Voprins, which is a royal family in Ithril. But it looks like these guys were probably in the employ of them.
Well, it's a good thing the desert tends to hide its secrets.
Well, in this case, it's the rocks.
Eh.
I know what's left of the Matryoshka. God bless her soul.
Henry speaks up and goes, as to where we were going, we were just trying to locate, the entrance.
Yeah, we need to head south, right?
I believe that was your guys' plans in locating this. It was the X on the map. We don't really know what it
Yes,
looks
the X
like
in
or
the
where
sand.
it goes. Again, it's not a physical X, Sierra
Yeah,
Day.
not how it works. And if that
Still,
is
I
how
feel
it
like I'm missing
works,
something. Why
well,
isn't it? Why didn't they just draw an X in the sand? Wouldn't that be easier for us to find?
I don't think it was meant to be easy for us to find. That's why my friend was looking for it and marked its location.
Well, they consider
It's just
it
silly.
an argument. I'm just gonna set off.
Alright, are you sticking in the canyons? Are you exiting back out into the desert so you can move a little freer? Because you guys, if I recall, were using words like wedge and tight spaces and deep in
I'm
there.
No.
gonna go back to making good time.
Okay, so you want to try to retrace your steps. Can I get a... You're proficient with land vehicles, so let's get
Yes, I am.
a check with your proficiency. Then you can either use wisdom or dexterity, depending on...
Oh, I'm definitely using dexterity.
Okay.
I'll open up the side door and like look out and like call out directions. Bit more left, bit more. No, too much.
That give me advantage then.
Maybe.
Left.
Let's see
to
what
the
you
left.
get, and then I'll let you know. I'm keeping this in mind, though. Can you
That
make a
is
perception
19.
check for me, Fizzle?
Uh, 18 plus 19.
19? I mean, yeah, it's actually going pretty smoothly for you guys. For one of you being relatively new to this, and the other one being not exactly at home when navigating these rocky canyons, you guys managed to give it a good go. And soon enough, you are back at the entranceway that you came into this in before you outspread the desert. Alright, so you
Close the
close
door
the
and back
window.
in. All right. Well, check. You're the driver. Take us south.
Yes, that was the direction I was aiming for.
Now that we're on the same page, I think we should just go.
Alright, so for the sake of this, I'm going to say that you're still piloting it as well as you were before. Now you're in a big open space. Far less things to hit. But can I get a perception check from the two that aren't driving? I like that sound.
9.
9?
9.
29.
29.
Fuck.
Alright, so So Fizzle,
Hence my sound.
you keep looking outside, but you keep hearing this gross, fleshy sound of as you look over at the sack constantly. You just see it bouncing up and down on the seat,
Undulating.
and it's making a mess. It's distracting. You see like it's starting to leak all over the seatbelt, and there's a little puddle of something growing
Oh,
underneath the seat as you guys are going. You know, you guys are in
squelching.
Yeah.
Ew.
Squelching.
it's not doing well at all, and that's the main thing that you keep like your eyes are just drawn to it. It's almost magnetic at this point. Stealing, on the other hand, you've had the opposite reaction to this thing, and you've done everything in your power to look anywhere but there. And eventually, as they're going, it takes a little bit of time. The sun has started to rise, and you can see one place up ahead where there's this. It's not a metallic glint, but there's just. You swear that there's something in the mountains further south. Something just doesn't quite look right in the sun's light.
That had better not be an X.
Hold on. Look over there. And I'll come up and like I'll put my hand basically like on your back, kind of push you off your little stool. Like right there. Up in the mountains.
Does that mean you're getting off
Yes.
your feet and undoing your belts?
Yes.
Can I get an well, I mean, how aggressively are you driving? Like,
Rather,
Plus I'm a fool jester. I'll just tumble.
yeah, okay. I mean, so we'll say like you're expecting him to not be able to stand still, and he's definitely not. But he is like going rather well with it. You know, he bumps one way, he bumps the other, and he's just kind of like tumbling back and forth. He's not well balanced, but he's well coordinated enough to just kind of go with the flow. He's on one side of the ship, he's on the other side of the ship. He's wherever the ship decides to put him.
Now,
I'm
if you pay
impressed by
attention-
this.
And stop trying to run me off the floor. And
I'm
I'll
not attempting. Yet. I could if you would prefer.
just go to the shiny spot. It's right there.
Passive of 16, could I notice the shiny spot now that he's pointing it out?
Yeah, now that he's pointed it out to you, you can see where he's like, that's where we're going.
Okay, I'm gonna whip a shitty and start heading that away.
Whip of shit. I mean, like, you're going straight forward, like, you know, in that direction, but you just kind of joke it for no reason and continue going that direction. Day like, tumbles with it again. You can actually see, from where you're sitting, and you're so hyper-focused on this thing, you watch, as a hand flops out, as like just sticking out of the sack, and it's one of the goblin hands, and the wrist is bent at a weird angle, almost like it's reaching out towards you, Fizzle. But yeah, it's gonna take a little bit of time to get down that way. Is there anything else you guys want to do here, or you think you're pretty content, waiting to see what happens
there's a
when
shiny
you arrive?
spot. Gotta go to the shiny spot.
I'm grabbing the hand.
Just shake the hand.
No,
Nice
I'm
to
grabbing
meet you.
You're grabbing the
stealthily.
hand. Alright,
Stealthily.
roll a stealth check.
Just did.
Grab the hand.
Yeah, that's only like a 15.
I mean, it's easy enough to grab it, but people are aware of you grabbing that person, namely being Day. But you don't really seem to notice
I
it.
have a 16.
Yeah,
You're also
but you're
driving.
driving, so I've changed
And
it
looking
just
towards
a
the
little
shiny.
bit. But Day, you see as he like kind of reaches over and just snatches this thing. Now he's clutching the goblin's hand.
Oh, I'm putting that away. Into my own bag of holding.
Into your own bag of holding. What could go wrong?
As soon as it's a little bit more balanced, I just want to like crawl over to him. That was Raoul. And I'll give you like a little pat on the back.
I'll write it on the arm so I don't forget later.
You can add Raoul's arm to your inventory. It's his left arm, by the way, in case you care.
That might come in, like, that might actually be
In
relevant.
case
never
you need
know.
a left goblin arm. Yeah.
He has a name, Sealiday.
How dare I?
But besides, that, it's now getting quite hot in the desert. You guys didn't exactly wait for any particular days. You guys are out here, and it's getting quite warm in here. But you do make it to what seems to be these ruins that are like carved into this mountainside. It's well worked stone. It's definitely been weathered and eroded. Whatever it is, it was done a long, long time ago. But you can faintly see the remains of one pillar. The other one looks like it's definitely been worn away, and on the right side, it's just sheer stone with a slight curve of where the pillar used to be. These frame a doorway that looks like it goes deep into this cave, and it's quite dark. But if you were to squint into this, you can see at the far back there is a stone door with a very clear separation between the two. Probably about 20 feet back, set into the shade of these rocks. Henry speaks up and goes, I think that's it, Sealiday. I think you did notice it.
And me again. What is it?
I'm not sure. Roll a persuasion check for me.
Persuasion expertise with a +8 that brings it up to 21.
21. All I know is that I was supposed to come out here and look for something to answer a couple of questions, and my associate decided to go this way, and I was to get a team to help deal with whatever he found. So I guess now we have both parts of the puzzle put together, and what's left now is to get in there and see what exactly it is that there is to find.
So, it's supposed to answer some questions. Now, since you seem a little uncomfortable, what are those questions that need to be answered?
I think they'll become self-evident once we get in there. It's really nothing bad. It's just mostly pertaining to a certain figure that has shown up.
B-boy? There's a temple to the B-boy?
What figure?
Um,
Or should we just go inside and find out?
it's really up to you. It might be important, so I'll say a little bit here. Have you guys heard of Argos? Or have
No.
you guys heard of the building of the other cities down to the south of Ithril?
Not really.
Not that comes to mind.
Well, something is happening up north. Several notable characters, without much word really being said, have decided to start making cities, and we don't really know why. They've taken quite a few mages, and the king has signed on with this, much to my begrudging advice to not do this, and I just want to know who this man is and where he came from. I've never heard of this Argos, but suddenly he says, let's do this, and the king jumps on board, and I just need to know if he can be trusted.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Call me skeptical, but you don't sound very confident.
Would you
And
be
if there's one
confident?
thing, I'm always confident. Mother said confidence is key.
Well, you could do with a little less of that sometimes. It comes off as a little off-putting once in a while.
I beg to differ. And I'll flip my non-existent hair.
So with that
So
being said, are we getting in there, or now what happens? Do I get to wait here and I'll mind the ground shaker and you guys?
No. your questions, your answers, your b-boy.
I mean, when you
You're
put it
coming
like
in.
that, I definitely see the. I should be in there. You're right. It is my questions. That was silly of me to ask.
I'll hop out. I'm gonna go check out the door.
I'm out of curiosity, have you ever seen it's a picture of like how women if they're wearing a dress they can be like battle ready. They weave it around them between their legs and tie off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what
Yeah,
you want to try
I
to
do.
do.
Yes.
It's a lot of
I'm-
fabric. You could do it, but 100% it's going to look like you're wearing a giant diaper.
I'm
Just
wearing a
because
diaper.
of the sheer length of this
The
on your
immensity.
figure. Yes, the
I'm wearing a diaper.
immensity of
What
this.
of it?
All right, so you have
Who's gonna make fun of me? The temple?
your dress diaper on and good to go.
Oh, the temple won't judge you, but I will.
Oh no. What am I ever gonna do?
Where are you parking this ground shaker?
Not my
There
ass.
was a bit of cover.
I mean, you could put it up against the mountain if you want. You could try to go back and find a crevasse somewhere. What kind of cover are you looking for?
We could always make a crevasse.
Some,
Uh,
you know, not in the open is essentially what I'm aiming for
roll
here.
roll a perception or a survival check. It's up to you.
You know, with perception? Ooh, that is a 25.
25. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a little ways back. You'll probably put it about a 15-minute walk from the entrance of this place. But you could probably tuck it in there.
Yeah.
It's a small little alcove where the mountain has kind of been eaten into. And it's, you guys are kind of like in this duney foothills kind of area.
Yeah, if they don't want to walk, I'll carry them.
Alright, so you guys...
How wide open is this place?
It's literally like right next to a desert. And then there's a couple of pathways through this little cliff area where it's kind of like buffering against the coast. So I mean, it's quite open. There's
Okay.
desert on one side, cliff on the other side of these mountains, and there really isn't a lot of mountains. If you were to keep going south, you could probably find a way up onto these, and this would kind of be like a plateau that
Mhm.
then has the sheer cliff to one side.
Can we, from where we're sitting, can we see more or less where we're supposed to go? Is there like a tunnel, a cave? Is it
You
just kind of
guys
like
would
further
need-
up the mountains?
Like I said, there's this well-worn area. There's a single pillar still visible. The other one has been worn away and is like just very exposed against this mountainside. And there's
Okay,
a
so chances are we're
little
going
bit of a
down.
roof. 20 feet in, you come to a door, and you guys would need to open that door and see what goes deeper into this place.
Okay.
But you
yeah.
can imagine that just due to the way it's laid out, it's either a very small temple or it's going to go down.
Sugar, we're going down swinging.
I'm
So-
unsure of this prayer. How does it go?
My mother never fully told me the lyrics. I think it has to do something with suicide. I couldn't tell you. To be honest, I never listened to her.
Or anyone?
You must have been a terrible child.
Or she must have been a terrible mother.
But you just told us that she told you confidence was key and you listened to that.
The only thing I listen to. I don't even listen to that little voice in the back of my head.
You're
Yeah,
conscious?
you are well.
It has a name?
So you guys have parked this and you guys walking back then, or?
Probably.
I would think so, yeah.
Okay.
How far is it from where we parked to the temple?
About 15 minutes.
Goodness.
Oh, really, dude?
So,
It's
do we-
just a short walk. You've walked further in the city.
yes. But I've also been carried further by adoring crowds.
Did you
I
pay
find
them?
that unlikely.
A small fee.
And I mean, it's not the most comfortable walk. You know, you have the desert sands blowing against you, you have the sun beating down, and you guys are getting close to the hottest part of the day. But 15 minutes isn't too bad. You know, you could survive that without needing to worry about heat stroke as long as you don't dally too long and enjoy the sands. So you
I would
guys.
like to dally. I'm kidding, I don't.
So you guys kind of make the shortest path you can, not really stopping to look at much. And you tuck into the shaded interior of this tunnel. And Henry goes, "Did you lock the ground shaker? Do we need to go back and lock it?"
I think we forgot.
I'm definitely not going back.
Yeah,
Did you
no.
lock it?
I probably would if that's usually a thing that is done with these.
It's like leaving your stove on at night. It's just more anxiety
I'll
than
roll for
anything.
you. I'll let you know.
How many people do you know
It's a
can
distinct
just pick up a
possibility
ground?
you might have. You have the
Perhaps
keys in
I'll
your
step
hand.
back and watch it.
Right. So who's going first?
I will.
Alright, what's the plan? You're muted. Cats.
How about now?
Yep, you're good now.
Emotionally?
It's so cute. Look at it.
I love kids.
So yeah, I was saying I'll go first, but I'm gonna be keeping.
Your
Dude.
volume's just slowly going down, and now you're muted again. Yes, the deadliest of all my traps.
Okay.
the quiet shut up mic.
Talk again?
No, I don't want to.
Oh, there you go. You're back.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, I'm definitely gonna have to order a new one. Yeah. So I'm going first. Keeping an eye out for traps and stuff.
Alright, can I get a perception or investigation, depending on how closely you want to be looking?
Let's go with investigation since I'm actually decent at that.
Are you?
Or so
Yeah,
the
I
legends
am.
go.
Shut up.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Alright, so you start with the wall nearest to you, and you just kind of like let your eyes trace it, and you get up to the door. You don't find any traps, but you do notice one thing. The floor here is sand, obviously, but there's these ruts in front of it, and you can see like the wind is blowing into this. These doors have been opened recently.
Hmm.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, that's not good. We're not the first ones here, and I would say it's pretty recent.
I don't know what he's doing, but
You can make a
It's really-
survival check for me quickly.
Oh,
he's
you
really
see the-
starting to kill my groove.
Speaking of grooves, you see those things in the sand right there? Those are grooves. Those are grooves of the door being opened recently. Plus survival. Survival is wisdom based. Ooh, great. 14.
14. It could have been any time in the last 3 days. Based on the way like the wind is pushing against this, and there hasn't been any like big dust storms or anything like that.
At least I can be certain of one thing. Philip still has my back.
Who's Philip?
You haven't met him.
I just figured he was friends with Raoul.
No, just because they knew each other in school doesn't mean they're friends. Now you're just assuming things.
I mean, fair enough.
Aren't wizards supposed to be smart?
He like just turns towards
You are a wizard,
Fizzle,
correct?
and he's like, "Are we opening this door, or perhaps we could let Sealade go first?"
Oh yeah, go ahead, Cyril Day. I checked it for traps and everything. And it looks safe.
How
Howa?
Howabunga. I was debating things. Let's see. Let's see things.
Let's check my
Um,
character sheet.
Yeah, just double check. It's like I don't like face checking things. I don't like checking things, except for my nail bed.
You don't have to
Uh,
check anything. Just go on in.
I'll probably, after seeing everyone's insistence that I go, I'll probably let out a little bit of a huff and like, fine, whatever. It's not like I need you lot anyways. And I'll take a crouched position. So basically, I'd like to roll stealth.
Okay.
18 on the money. And then stealth makes expertise, so that's a 26.
Okay. Press yourself up against the wall, in the crevice between the wall and the closed door.
This is how you be quiet.
What?
How do you plan to get in?
I haven't thought that through yet. And I'll just kind of like tug at the door.
Roll a strength check.
Okay. I mean, that's a 17 minus 1, so 16.
You think you're almost there, but it doesn't quite budge, and you see like the sand by the door kind of like quivers a little bit in your awesome and terrible presence, but the door remains shut.
Sure you don't need us?
Do you need a hand
No.
with that?
You shush.
Do you want to roll again?
Yes, I'm just double checking my my robe.
Perhaps Chick could give you a hand?
Nope. It's my
Chick
last one,
went
but
back
I'm willing to use it.
Vehicle, remember?
I'll
What?
just reach down.
Chick went back to check the vehicle.
Oh yeah, you're walking back?
Yeah.
Okay. We could wait for Chick.
It's okay, Henry.
I'm using my last one. I don't need it. And I'll just rip off a patch.
I'm gonna wait by the ground shaker and left.
I'll rip off the last patch of window, and I'll just throw it and make a 2x4x2 window.
Okay, so you throw a window onto this door. And
Is it like all the way through?
it goes partway through. It's a very thick door.
Yeah, because it's 4 feet. The depth is 4 feet.
The depth of the window?
Yeah, it's 2 tall, 2 wide, 4 deep.
How thick is this window? Jesus Christ.
That's not full. Are you sure it's not 4 inches?
Yeah, are you
Yep.
like
Yep.
4 inches? Okay, I mean, with that, yeah, it goes through.
Doors open. Go. You first, Rabbit.
Maybe we should wait
No.
for Chick. Especially if what if there's another door? You just said that was your last patch.
How long has it been?
The last window. I still have my other door. I still have Philip.
As you're contemplating this, you make it back to the ground shaker and you check the door. It's locked. You locked it.
I start cursing under my breath in machine speak.
It just sounds like an engine backfiring.
I have been in machine speak thus far. Like, I just start making whistling and hissing sounds and clunking noises.
Right? And are you?
I talk about people undermining my confidence.
Alright, are you staying there? You walking back?
I'm gonna try and like look at the people. How far away are they? Can I see them at all? Like, can I see?
You can probably see like this, like they're in this alcove, so you can't see them right now. But you can kind of see roughly where they went in.
I'm gonna check my watch. Gonna look over there. Check the sundial again. Turn it. Realize I'm standing in the wrong direction. Turn around. Check it again. I'm gonna get bored and go back to where they are.
Okay.
But without them, I can move at like 40 feet.
Alright, so it's more like,
So, like shave off a little bit of time.
yeah, you can do it in 10. Alright, so meanwhile, back at the door. So are we waiting? Are we going first? Can you open that window now? Where does the glass go?
I don't ask questions. I found the robe. Well, technically, it was lost and found, and the lost and found was a dead person, but I found the robe. I got some patches made.
It's good enough.
I agree.
Alright, well,
It's come quite in handy.
being as it's your window in a stone door, well, why don't you open it?
Alright. So I'll just walk forward and just kind of bash the glass out.
Yeah. Yeah, it's easy enough to break it. Are you doing anything to protect your hand before you do this, or are you just like, fuck it? Glass is glass, right? What could go wrong?
I'm wearing a diaper. Can I?
Yeah, you. Why don't you roll a percentile for me if that's the best you have?
Clearly, they doesn't think things through. 24.
24. I mean, you put your hand through the glass and you get it out, right? And the glass shards. Would you reach your elbow? I need you to explain a little bit more. And there's just what?
Realistically, my first thought was like Sparta kicking the window. So I'm kind of...
Yeah, sure. We'll say that. So like, yeah, you walk up to it and you like just put your foot through this window and you pull your leg back, and thankfully you had this dress diaper on, but it's like it's shredded. You know, it was thick enough that you didn't get cut, but you have like pieces of glass in this thing now. You have slashes going throughout it. It's a very rustic look. It protected your legs, but it might be a hazard later on if you were to try to sit down. And you hear the sound of glass shattering, and it just kind of echoes across these. It's carried to you by the wind. It's a very unique sound to hear in a desert by a stone door.
I curse under my breath again, saying something along the lines of fucking mortal spawn. Short-lived idiots. And I book my shit assuming they got into a fight or something.
Alright, so you're very, very fast, and you're already walking at this point. So the same time that you're extracting your leg from this glass-filled crevasse, Chick comes like turning the corner really, really quickly. They almost like slide past the door, being as they're on sand. There's like this plume of sand coming up on one side, and their like shadow like emanates into this tunnel where you guys are standing. And Henry's.
Which one of you requires repairs this time?
You see in the stone door, there's now this very big window and some glass shards sticking up at weird angles. And a shredded diaper on Shielday's right leg.
No one needs assistance.
I'm gonna open the door, or at least attempt to.
I mean, well, you have to walk up towards it. Is anyone else doing anything before Chick gets there? You like making way so they can try to open this door?
I'll stop it.
Stop it?
Yes, I'll put my hand out. Oh, wait. Shieldday said that he can handle this, so let him handle it.
Did I not?
I'm gonna look at you incredulously, look at him, then gesture.
I'm just gonna snap my hand a couple times, and a mage hand will appear.
It's got to.
And I'm gonna say,
Bring
in
this.
speak, does this look like handling it? But it comes out as like,
I thought we were
Jeez.
being. So the mage hand goes up and it starts like picking out like pieces of glass, and it struggles a little bit, and then there's like a
I'm
little.
just gonna I'm just gonna have the mage hand like ram itself into the bigger shards.
Okay, so there's just this sound of glass breaking again and again, and Henry's like, "I thought we were being quiet."
Well, let's run inside.
It takes a couple of minutes, and eventually Henry kind of shrugs, and he's like, "Well, if this is what we're doing," and he gets his mage hand to come out as well, but it's like trying to sweep off the shards of glass off of the windowsill. But eventually you have a mostly open window with shards of glass, probably on both sides of the floor. So, I hope you have good boots on
I'm wearing heels.
in the desert.
Good choice.
Like I said, princess's gown, bow. I don't half-ass shit.
Okay. So who's going first? Seal Day, is this please after you, ladies first.
Thank you.
He'll go up to the door and he'll like put out one of his paws for you to like help you up into the window.
Oh, love it.
Do you have dark vision?
Yes,
Okay.
half elf.
Yeah, I'm just checking.
Just walk into the darkness. I'm going to die.
Can I get
Okay.
just for the sake of it, we'll just say a dex saving throw to see how well you balance in your heels going through a window.
It's a 10 on the dice. And then... So that is a 16.
It's not the most graceful entrance into a window you've ever made or out of, but you're wearing a dress that you've turned into a really thick diaper. You have shards of glass in it. You're wearing heels. You're worried about your tender little ankles, and you managed to make it through. Maybe not gracefully, but safely, right? And you come out onto the other side, and there's like this crunching of glass as your beautiful heels step down, shattering a few more of the pieces that managed to survive your onslaught until now. And you find yourself in a much more worked tunnel. And it looks like it's been protected by the door, so it hasn't been at the whims of the elements. And you can see like it almost looks like it was carved directly into this mountain, but they've carved it so it looks like it's been made out of bricks. And it curves very lazily down towards the right, and there's a slight slope in the floor as if it's going to curve back the way you guys came, deep into the earth.
I'm crawling in right behind him.
Alright, I'll get a dex saving throw from you as well. I don't make the rules. Glass is just it's dangerous, guys. I'm telling you.
Well, then who put the window there?
Yeah. What a weird design.
14.
14. It's harder for you, and like you kind of scrape up your hands a little bit. You're short, so you needed to like actually grab the windowsill on your way up and on your way down, and you managed to find a few slivers. You don't like get badly gashed, but you'll probably take like 1 point of piercing or slashing damage if you want, as you kind of like cut up your hands just a little bit.
Okay.
I hope you know I'm wearing like dagger point stilettos.
I'll keep this in mind for your stealth checks.
Those are kind of hot. Wow.
It's just
I'm wearing those really well.
Yeah.
I thought you wouldn't, but
Hands are a little bloody, but you're like, he has some nice calves.
Ooh, damn, I'm a thick.
Ooh.
Daddy got those long legs.
Henry goes next. He's a little rotund, but he manages to like he looks at it and he actually kind of like just jumps through the window and like tucks into a ball and lands on the other side. He does it like probably the smoothest out of all of you. And then
Who the
Chick Chick,
fuck
it's up to
rabbit?
you.
Punch the door.
Can you do it better than the rabbit folk?
I have 2 questions mostly. James,
Yes.
can you remind us what Sealaday looks like? Without the dress and the silhouette, like just
Like
what sort of
naked.
clothes
Describe,
does
describe it to us.
You've seen it plenty of times.
Be descriptive.
So Sealaday, he has kind of like a, it's a mix between like a white and olive skin tone. So it's very earthy. I want to say it's light earthy. He has smooth brown blonde hair that's usually curled away and tucked behind his ear. It's a little longer than mine, but it's kind of like playfully rugged. Fairly slender build. He looks fairly lean. He looks like he should be taller than he is.
Okay. I needed to be reminded of how good this looks in stiletto heels and a shredded dress.
I mean, he's pulling it off, oddly enough, you know.
Apparently he is.
This is the sound of power.
So I'm gonna walk up. I'm gonna look at
Well,
the window.
I need
I'm gonna to Fizzlewitz. Do you require assistance?
Fizzle's already on the other side.
Oh, I thought he didn't go yet.
No, he went like pretty much
Scratched up his hand.
immediately, and he scratched up
Okay.
his hand. So you like look through the window and you see he's kind of like applying pressure to a small little cut.
Thanks, but I'm good.
Okay, I'm gonna swing my way through it
Can I
and
get?
try to like roll and drop down.
Yeah, you can make an acrobatics check.
I was kind of hoping they would just like
Ooh.
open the door and walk through. It's like idiots.
Actually, can I do that instead?
Yeah, roll a
Nope.
strength check instead.
Die is cast.
I'm gonna keep the same die roll. Cause that's 22.
22. Yeah, so like you guys all get there, right, and you're like dusting yourselves off, and suddenly there's just it doesn't add a lot of light, but like the room lightens a little bit as like the door swings open with this little grinding sound, and it hits the glass, and you hear more glass getting dragged under the door and shattering. It's not a stealthy door opening, but yeah, they open the door and they just walk in. You probably don't open it all the way, just enough to squeak in, right?
Yeah, just enough to get through. I'm gonna look at you guys. I'm gonna gesture to the door and be like,
Show off.
and I make some like clacking, clicking sounds. And I say, shake my head.
Yeah, sorry, don't speak machine speak.
Well, I guess that's the first obstacle overcome.
And with grace.
Should not have been an obstacle.
So, shall we?
I am a few years old, and I know how to open a door.
It's a very big door in Sealaday's defense.
Thank you.
Some might even say monolithic, if they were so inclined.
I don't know the meaning of the word.
Yeah, it means big.
Why don't you say the word big?
It sounds nice. You're a bard. You sing. I mean, if there's anyone that understands the flow
I
of words, it should be you.
I'm not a singer. I play the flute.
My apologies.
Thank you. Goodness, the nerve of some people. And I'll just kind of... I'll try and be stealthy. But
Right?
I'm just gonna...
You can roll with disadvantage.
That's fine.
Heels on stone.
That's a 5.
Yeah, so he starts being stealthy, and then like he takes a couple of steps, and you guys just hear like almost like he's saying Chick Chick's name all the way down.
Is that
You
from, like,
you're watching this, right? And you notice he's actually kind of like catwalking. He has like one foot in front of the other, and like Celia is like more involved in like making his ass look good than actually being quiet right now. He has like
I
that.
love it.
Not bad, not bad.
Damn it. We are different genders. You were just a few years older, and I was a few years younger. Fuck it.
Fuck it.
I'm
We're on
legal.
a mission. We're on a mission. We're on a mission.
So,
Come on, we
so
need
you
to
start
focus.
making your way down, and everyone's just kind of like watching this for a second. What are you guys doing in the absence of Sealaday's presence as he starts making his
Way downtown.
his way downtown, walking
little walk.
fast, hips swaying, heels clicking.
Goggles and night down, shield up. I guess I'm just gonna follow him.
Watch that ass.
Chick chick.
I'm bringing up the rear.
All right.
Mostly
Henry.
because I don't trust any of them to have my back.
Henry like kind of like looks around, and then he like pulls a little stone out of his pocket, and he whispers something to it, and it's glowing, and he like puts it in his pocket, and it's peeking over just enough so he has like a little vest light, but if he was to push it down, the light would be obscured.
Nice to know somebody here has an intelligence over 10.
Hey,
Mine's 11.
Alright, so Sealaday, you're in the front then, eh? Anything
Presumably.
I should be aware of as you're making your way downtown, walking fast?
Faces past and I'm ass bound.
Yes, you just sent.
I have no idea where I'm going or what I'm doing, so I'm just walking.
Alright,
The fucking rabbit didn't tell us what the questions were, what the answers were. He was just like, let's go there. I don't know what I'd be expecting. I don't know anything.
alright.
What happens when you don't share intelligence with your other teammates?
Anyone else? Anything to be aware of? Or you guys just following Sealaday?
Following.
follow for like a minute or two, and then I'll finally be like, alright, Cyril Day, come on, get back here. You're really not meant to be frontline person. You know that.
You told me to walk. I was walking.
Yes, now get back where it's safe.
Fine. Fine.
Who's
someone else.
frontline then?
What's that?
What
Who will
about the
be
giant
frontline then?
slab of metal?
Sorry, can you go, Lady Knight? I heard what Sealaday said. He asked me what the giant slab of metal. What did you say?
I said, who will be frontline then?
This
I
point,
can do it if you don't want to.
Everybody looks at me. Oh,
I can do it.
correct. And I'll go to walk in front of everybody else. Since I'm probably the sturdiest.
Alright.
I just let her think that.
Alright, so Henry like puts his
I have
hand
no gender.
on Sealaday's shoulder. He's like, "Yeah, you can just walk with me. Any chance you're taking me off the heels?"
Suppose I have a pair of flats, but why?
They're just a little distracting.
Boys,
Hmm.
fine. And I'll reach into my bag of holding and I'll just pull out a pair of flats.
A pair of flats. A
I
shoe
nudge
change.
Henry. I nudge Henry. He's got nice calves, doesn't he?
I was referring to the sound, but I mean,
Oh,
they're not bad. For an elf.
Henry's looking to hook up.
Alright,
So, can you explain what we're doing here?
as I said, we're just trying to figure out. Again, I don't really know what to look for down here. I was just told that some of the questions I had about this figure, this Algos, could perhaps be found down here. That's all I know.
not much to go on, but
It's
we'll make work of it.
really not. And the other guy, as I said, he has a similar line of work for me. Well, not for me, but he's in a similar line of work as me. He may or may not be looking for questions as well. Or maybe he knows something. I've never really dealt with him before.
I'm assuming he doesn't work for the same organization?
I mean, it's possible that he does. I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not exactly
dear God.
following orders being down here. This is kind of my own intuition and my own vested interest, and thus why I'm here with the Freeman. I was maybe told in not so many words to drop it and leave it alone.
Well, for what it's worth, I admire your girth, your fortitude.
I don't think those are the proper words, but thank you.
You are. I just said them.
That's not how words work.
Baby sleeping.
Another thing, those people that you blew up, they may or may not have been looking for me, or maybe looking for the other guy. We didn't
No,
really
they're
get a
definitely
chance
not.
to ask questions, but I don't really know what the Voprins were doing out this far.
Well, we can
Well,
be certain of one thing. They're no longer looking for you.
They have
Problem solved.
indeed been removed from the board, so to speak.
So, all I see is this tunnel. What is there? What's the point? I'm getting bored. Do you know what I do when I'm bored? I play my flute.
Well, why don't you keep going then, and let's see if we can find some answers.
I'm just gonna shrug and follow as commanded.
All right, so you're just walking.
Yep. I'm gonna try to be careful, keeping my eyes open, but like,
Well, do you want to roll?
I'm assuming he has a better idea as to what's going on than I do.
All right. Well, do you want to roll stealth with disadvantage, or do you want to roll stealth with advantage and roll perception with disadvantage?
I'll roll stealth with advantage.
So,
I'm more
sorry,
just being
sorry.
quiet and letting
One will
him...
be flat, the other will be with disadvantage. Whether you're being more stealthy or if you're being more inquisitive. You know what I'm saying? So one's flat, one's with disadvantage.
I'm gonna be more sneaky. Okay, so that is 30-20 for stealth and 12 for perception.
Okay.
12 to 30-20.
And you other guys you're following, what exactly is the formation you're moving in?
I'm probably in the middle to back.
I'm in front of them, but behind Chick.
Alright, is it like close? You guys are like 5 feet apart, 10 feet apart, 30 feet? How? What's the layout here?
I'll be like 20 feet behind our leader.
Alright.
I'll be fairly close. I don't like to get hit.
No, you got it.
Diaper baby needs his mommy.
Cool.
As you're walking, you're being rather stealthy and you're, paying attention to where you're going more than pretty much anything else. That being said, though, I will need you to make a dex saving throw.
Uh-oh. $18.
18. So, you don't really get out of the way as much as you just freeze in your steps as you're going. You're not on autopilot, and as you're walking, your foot descends farther than it did before as you kind of step on something. And
I'm gonna freeze there. I believe I have stepped on a trap.
Goodness. What are we gonna do with you? So, any plans, genius?
Try not to step on traps. Hasn't
I've
gone.
already done that.
Yeah. I'm gonna go up right behind Chick and like just gently brush away the sand and see if I can uncover the mechanism.
Okay, so you do that. You start brushing away. Can you roll an investigation check for me?
I can. Uh, Ooh, that's a 19 on the die, plus 7, 26.
26. So there's one thing very odd about this as you're brushing away the sand. You can see it's made of what seems to be metal, and it's been kind of like inlaid into the floor. It's been added rather recently. It wasn't built at the same time as this tunnel based on how fresh it looks. You get the idea that it's going to spring something as soon as they lift their foot off of this trap. Are
How
you more
big?
interested in figuring out how it works, what it sets off, or like what exactly is what are you looking for?
At the moment, just how it's triggered,
How it
which
should.
at the moment I'm guessing it's a pressure trap.
Yeah, it would go off as soon as Chick removes the pressure.
How big is the trap? Like, how big is the area that they're standing on?
For that, they would need to look at it a bit closer and try to discern that, unless you want to also get your face down by it and take a look.
I'll take a look.
Alright, roll an investigation for me.
So, that's a 14.
14? Um, you're not really sure. I mean, it definitely looks like it's probably about. It's more of a strip than a square.
Okay, so
You could
there
see
definitely is extra space that's compressed.
it looks more like there's just. It was set in such a way that as long as you stepped in this area, it's probably about a 10 by 30. So it's more of a rectangle that they kind of stepped on. But as to where it
Goodness.
goes, what it sets off.
Fine, fine. Since I have to do everything myself, I'm going to use prestidigitation, and I'm going to create a 20-pound weight. I'm going to put it down. Create another 20-pound weight. Put it down.
You can only create one thing at a time, I believe, with
Three.
prestidigitation. 3 things.
And
Alright.
it's a non-magical trinket or an illusionary thing that can fit in my hand, and I can fit a 20-pound weight in my hand. So I'm just going to make it. Put it down. Put it down. So I'm basically going to add 60 pounds to this little strip that you just described, in an attempt to weigh it down so they can move their lard ass.
I mean, it's janky, but I appreciate it. So I'll let it happen this time, being as this is just a mini series. But going into the future and other such things, I might say 20 pounds to create 60 pounds with prestidigitation is a bit much. But for now, I appreciate it. I can
There's
get
nothing.
behind that.
Wait,
Alright, so you put this down, and then what?
does somebody else want to join me? Or is it just me?
I can add some more weight if you
Thank
need
you.
it.
Come on.
I reach back to my backpack and pull a little lever, and my little turret cannon falls to the ground. Troy, go stand over there. And he scuttles off over and stands in the strip.
Okay.
Should be as much as we need. Hopefully.
Maybe?
How much do you weigh, giant, hulking, massive idiot?
282 pounds.
We're going to need more weight.
I mean, maybe they just bottomed it out.
That is more likely. I do tend to do that.
Henry takes like
I
a.
only lift my foot.
Everybody, get on the other side. We'll have you move last while we get.
Alright, so who's going to the other side?
Yeah, probably.
I'll go
Although
first.
I would like to actually pay attention to what I'm doing.
Roll a perception check for me. And how far onto the other side are you guys going? Are you like staying close by, or are you like trying to like spread out a little bit here?
I'll probably spread out. I will be, at least.
Alright, what did you get for your perception?
Dirty 20.
Okay, and Fizzle, how far are you going? He said he's spreading out. Are you sticking by? Or are you spreading out?
No, I'm gonna spread out too,
All right,
like a good 40 feet.
cool. I need you to make a dex saving throw because you didn't look out.
That is a natural 1,
Ooh.
but I'm a halfling, so halfling's luck. Thank God.
Yeah, please.
Natural fucking 20.
Natural 20.
For a
Now.
total of 22.
22, all right. So you're a little lighter, but you feel like as you put your foot down, it starts to sink. Are you stopping? Or are you going to like take
Going
your foot
faster.
off?
I'm going faster.
So you're taking your foot back off?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Gotta
Doesn't
go
look like
fast.
you put enough weight to trigger it, but you keep going. All right, and then
Uh,
are
Yes.
you taking your foot off?
Yep.
You-
I'm gonna slowly lift my foot.
Doesn't move. Seems like you guys have enough weight on it.
And then I'm just gonna, like, book my shit at Mach 5 to the other side. Hoping to be faster than these things.
Can't be faster than your own brain cells.
All right. And what did you get for your perception seal today?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And in total, that is dirty 20. So you got up to 20. You
Yeah, I
notice
got
that
a
there's
12
probably about 7 or so of these bands, and they're spaced about every 10 feet.
Does anybody else have the ability to conjure things? Little tricks, illusions, that sort of thing?
Henry's like, I mean, I could, but I'm currently using my light spell, so that would go out for me.
I guess you can't see in the dark, can you?
No.
How
Well-
wide are these bands again?
You're not sure, but it looks like the trigger is about every 10 feet apart.
And
So I'm-
how wide are the triggers? Is my question.
Like I said, they're about 5 feet. Sorry, not 5 feet. They're probably about a foot, and then they're a long rectangle that seems like it goes over to each wall.
Just
So,
stop.
just wanted to point it out since this one doesn't auto-use their eyes. And I'm going to gesture approximately every dozen feet or so. There's these long strips, weird shadowing around them. They're
I'm gonna point to
every few feet the length of this.
my one eye and say, of course, I can't use them very well. I only have one.
Then build a new one. I don't know what you can do.
I haven't gotten the materials for that. Why
Well,
do you
that sounds
think I
like a
only
you-
created one?
Sounds like an issue, not an ish me. Goodness.
Once we get out of here, how are you getting Troy, was it? How are you getting Troy back?
How far away are we from it?
Well, you guys spread out, and like I said, there's about 5 to every 10 feet, so there's at least 50 feet of it. Maybe more.
That's how far away from Troy we are?
That's up to you. Tell me how far you want it to move. You've moved at least 10 feet.
You know what? I'm gonna leave him where he is for the moment, because I can simply command him to do something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can try sending my turret ahead, but that's only gonna take care of one trap.
Realistically, as long as we keep walking over, it shouldn't be a problem. My thought is, why are there so many traps so consistently? Would it flood the hallway? It doesn't seem like it would be a single... something silly like a dart trap. I have a feeling that it's a little bit more involved than we might think. Hi, girls. Goes loud.
Thinking.
I mean, we could perhaps continue and just see where this goes.
It seems like our best option. Just be aware of the areas I've pointed out. Any better than that, and that's all we can do.
But we have to cross the rest of them in order to proceed, right?
Yes. But in case someone steps on one of them, I will be ready with one of my patches.
Oh joy.
Will that one be Philip?
No, I haven't named this one yet. It's, to be honest, and I'll blush a
Jesus,
little.
perhaps?
It's, one of my... I took a sculpting class when I was going to Bard College, and I came up with something quite beautiful in the mud, because I got kicked out. And, I've just always adored the shape. So, I turned it into a patch. But, nevertheless, just be ready.
Well, I mean, at the
Carry
very
on.
least, we know where they should be, so I don't think it'll be too hard to avoid them.
I think you should be right. Just look every 10 feet or so, and there should be one underneath you.
Alright, can I get, well, say, a perception check from everyone?
16. 8 plus 8.
19.
13.
13. With all of you working together, you do kind of need to mention to Fizzle, being as he's a halfling, so his 10 feet is maybe a little smaller, and eventually he starts to get close to finding one, and you guys are like, come on now, pay attention. um, and you're able to make it down this hallway. How far do you want to go before you call your droid, or are you just going to leave it there until you get to what's probably the end of this?
Also, I'd like to hold my action until a trap triggers, or something happens with the B-boy. I'm assuming that he's going to be down here. Basically, anything that smells like trouble, I want to hold my action to throw a patch.
Okay,
I think I'm just gonna leave them there.
I'm just going to leave him there.
Yeah, I don't really want to set one off, or at least not yet.
Alright. So, you guys, with the power of teamwork and friendship, you manage to make it down this hallway. And it goes on for quite a while, and eventually you've come to another sharp turn, and it looks like it's kind of like going not quite 180, but it's like a 90-degree turn in the tunnel. Still has that slight slope down, but now it's less, and it looks like it's going to even out here in a little bit. Still the same work stone, but there's no longer the iron bands on the floor. And it just kind of changes. And there isn't even dust down here. That turn has pretty much stopped the sand from getting in. And you guys see the work stonework here. It's still, looks like it has bricks carved into it. There's a couple of empty sconces on the wall that might once have held torches. And you see at the back of this, about another 50-ish feet, there's another door, this one made out of wood, and it looks like it's slightly ajar. It's a nice door though, reinforced. It has some metal bands on it, and a knocker that would also function as the handle. Offset onto the right side. It looks like the door would be pushed in if you wanted to gain entrance.
Well, this is where it is.
Yeah, I don't like this. Let's be quiet and sneak up.
I think you might be right for once. So,
I'll sneak up first. Actually, no. Someone better at that sneaking than me should go up
I
first.
will sneak.
Honestly,
Takes
I'm
out a
kind of
glass.
22.
Fuck glass. 22. Alright, are you going up to the door?
Yep.
And
I'll,
everyone else is kind of staying back, it's just you?
Yeah. I'll kind of... How dark is it in here?
Quite. There's no sun in here at all. It's almost like pitch black. So even
Okay.
with your dark vision, you're just kind of seeing like the outlines of the wall. But you can make out what's probably a little bit of light coming from this door, and it's like almost silhouetted from this little crack and like the space around this door.
So there is a little light.
Yeah, but it's a very nice door. There's no like cracks of light coming out through the door. It's like it would be like a watertight door.
Okay. Watertight. What an interesting set of words.
I could say airtight if you prefer.
I'm going to turn my back to the door and I'm going to pull like a powder compact. I basically just want to pull out a small mirror and angle my back and see if I can, since there's a little bit of light coming through, I want to see if I can get some sort of view inside.
For that, let's get a perception check with disadvantage as you're just using this little tiny bit of a mirror to try to like peek through.
8. 18. So it's a 16 with my my actual roll is a 16.
Wow. I mean, you get a view of the world very small bits at a time. And into the next room, you can see what seems to be various mosaics along the wall. It's difficult to really pick out details as to what they could be based on the fact that you're only seeing like a little bit at a time. But some of them seem to depict figures, and you also can make out what seems to be some sort of feature centering in the middle of the room with some sort of crystal above it that's faintly glowing, and that seems to be what's emanating the light into this room.
Is there... Can I tell if it's cultural in nature? Like, you could kind of approximate if you see architecture and it's like, no, that's dwarven artwork that might be elven in nature. Can I kind of
You've never seen
discern that?
anything like this, but you also notice some movement, and then you hear a faint buzzing.
So I'm going to I'm gonna stow the mirror back, and it'd be like, there's some sort of...
Are you going back to the group? Because you moved away, so you gotta...
Yeah, I wasn't certain how far I moved.
Like I said, it's about
So-
50 feet
Okay,
from
so
the
they did say that
entrance.
far back.
Well, no one said they wanted to move up, and no one made stealth checks, so I'm assuming you guys stayed. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm waiting back.
Okay,
Oh, wait.
I'll take a few moments to sneak back to the group. There's some sort of antechamber up ahead. There's it's the oddest thing. I've never seen murals quite like it. There's this gorgeous, gorgeous crystal up in the sky. I'd love to make out a chandelier out of. And I heard the buzzing of bees.
Are you sure it
Less
was
fun.
bees?
It sure wasn't Philip, if that's what you're asking. I think what I'm trying to convey here is there's something up ahead that I do not like.
I want to
So-
sneak up and take a look, guys.
You wanna sneak
Good
up?
luck.
Let's get that stealth check, baby.
Oh, that is terrible. Oh yeah, this is gonna go well.
Good luck.
No, not even.
Uh,
5.
5? I mean,
you trip.
you're like, I'm going to sneak up, and you start strong, but the closer you get to the door, you have those goggles on, right? So you're
And
looking
tail
forward,
mail.
and it's like it's kind of adjusting, it's not adjusting, you can see, you can't see, and you kind of just end up walking faster than you think you're actually, yeah, and you're kind of like tapping it. But you do make it to the door. You stop in front of it.
Slowly push it open a little bit more than it already is.
Right, it squeaks just a little bit as it goes, squeak, and you can get a more complete picture of this room. You can see a small dais. It looks like it's probably octagonal with this crystal above it that's glowing very, very faintly. You can see, roll perception check.
Oh yeah, I'm good at those.
What do your
God, what the fuck?
halfling eyes see?
Apparently nothing. That's a
Fucking
3.
door.
I mean,
That's a
it's really the crystal that kind of takes up the majority of your interest at this point. You swear there's stuff on the walls behind, but it's most that crystal you're looking at. Can you make a wisdom save for me?
great. You know,
What
let's
he's good at.
not use that dice
That one's in dice jail.
for a little bit. Oh, that's better. That's better. 16 on the dice. You said wisdom
Yep,
or charisma? Wisdom.
wisdom.
17.
17. It's so entrancing. It's difficult to look away, but your goggles flicker one more time and like the image goes dark for a second and you manage to pull your eyes away before your goggles flick back on.
I shake my head a bit and like step like to the side so that I'm not in the doorway anymore.
Okay. Everyone behind can see, like, you've opened the door just a little bit, and now there's more light coming out of this room. And you guys can all kind of hear, like, it's not like a bad buzzing, it doesn't sound like a swarm or anything, but once in a while you do hear, like, the little flutter of wings as something seems to, like, be moving around from, like, one wall to the other, or from one place to another.
Does it sound like one pair or multiple?
Based on the frequency, there's probably at least a couple in there, or at least one that got into someone's coffee. One of the two.
Ugh. Hmm.
Gotta go fast, gotta go fast.
I gotta go. Yes,
Fuck
my
it,
love.
someone has to do it at some point. I heft my shield up and pull out my arcane weapon or my arcane firearm and fuck it, I step in there.
Alright, so with that, you just kind of like look back at the group as you like take your shield off. Are you guys doing anything as you see him like start to heft his equipment?
I'm gonna go see if he needs any help with that.
Alright, so you start moving towards him. Seality?
Yeah, I'll follow suit and prepare myself.
So you start going, and you guys probably get about like 5 feet. You probably have like 2 seconds here before he like pushes the door open, and you get the more complete picture of this. Um, are you doing anything in particular when you walk into this room, or?
Oh yes. As soon as I step inside, boom, to the crystal, blasting a ray of frost.
All right, make that attack roll.
Hold on a second.
Where's your head?
7, 16,
She likes to rest her head
23.
on my hand.
So cute.
Oh.
She'll just sit like this.
I can't get my dog to do that. Hates having her chin held like that.
My dog is also missing a leg.
Yeah, well.
So what you got? What you get? What do you got from me, Vanna?
16 on the dice plus 7. I believe that's a 23.
23. All right, you can roll your damage.
Which is 2d8 plus a D8 from Arcane Firearm.
Bang.
That's kind of crappy. That's very crappy. 8.
8. All right,
cold
so you
damage.
put your shield against the door and you push the
Why?
door open as you step forward, gun leading, and you line it up. And you squeeze the trigger, and out comes this blue line of energy that strikes the crystal. It's not a direct hit, it's a little off to the side. Ice forms along this crystal, and it kind of starts to spin with the momentum. And it's looks like it kind of goes off to the side a little bit, and it almost tips out, but it manages to right itself. It's has a little bit of spider webs, and there's spider webs from cracking, right? Not actual spider webs. And it's still intact. It's still there. But I need everyone here to roll initiative.
Close enough to what I wanted.
So everyone roll, and then I'll call for numbers as needed. So let me know when everyone is nice and rolled up.
Yep.
Ready?
Chuk, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right. 20 to 25. What'd you get, Celia?
21.
Okay.
Excuse me.
All right. Then we have 15 to 20.
Yo,
What'd you get?
18.
Okay. What did you get, Fizzle?
14.
14. All right. Celia, you get to go first. You're about 40 feet from this as you watch as Fizzle moves forward, pushing the door, and he squeezes off a blast. And the light gets a little weird. There's a white... It gets slightly brighter, you think, for a second. And you can see the crystals kind of balancing itself atop this dais. But you need to get closer if you wanted to look more into this room. What do you do?
Sorry, dogs are getting loud. I'm trying to. I'd probably take my movement closer and try and peek in, because I can see over top of Fizzle.
Alright, so you just want to take your 30 and see what you see?
Yep.
Alright, so you
Before
take your 30. You're about 10 feet from
Yeah.
from the entrance. You can see the mosaics on the wall, and it looks like they depict various figures. The main thing in this room is the crystal floating atop this dais, and you also see along the roof what seems to be bugs. Lots and lots and lots of bugs above. The room itself, it's domed, and it looks like these things have moved and they're directly above this crystal. And you can swear you almost see a little bit of a nest. So you still have your action and bonus action.
Yeah, I'm just double checking what I have access to. As my free action, I'll call out, there, on the roof. There's a nest or something. And then I'm going to... I'm going to cast Long Strider on myself.
Okay.
And then that's it.
That's it. All right. Then we get to Henry. He's going to take his movement up and his dash action. He's going to move as quickly as he can to the side of the door. And he kind of presses himself off to the side as if to not block it. You're up, and Fizzle, you're up next.
How far away from me is it?
You're about 40 feet from the doorway.
From the doorway or from the
From the doorway.
thing?
The room itself, it's probably about, like I said, it's domed, so it's a round room, right? And it's probably 30 feet in radius.
Okay, I am going to smack myself twice on the shoulder, casting Shield of Faith. And then book it forward my 40 feet and hold an action to like punch the shit out of it should it get close.
Alright, so you move up directly behind Fizzle. And you've got your hands up and ready.
Yep.
Fizzle. You're muted.
You're muted.
Sorry, keep on forgetting about that. I'm gonna step to the side on the since now I'm now inside the room. Just step to the side so I'm out of the way.
You're stepping to the side inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside, okay. And you also can see this wasp nest above.
Pointed it out.
Yeah, I know. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move a bit further in. Say like another 20 feet. And I'm gonna cast Blur on myself.
Blur. Alright,
Blur.
and that is your turn?
Yep, that's all I can do.
Alright. At this point, now that you're inside, you can see quite a few insects are starting to like exit out of this hive. A few of them are like along the walls, but you know, not very many are out, but there's a lot more coming. And a few of them are going to fly towards you, Fizzle, as you've moved in. You'll get your action here if you want it, Chick Chick, as a couple are going towards you as well. Alright. It is a held action, so you only get one attack.
Can that attack be my flurry of blows?
Maybe?
Yeah, because you spend a bonus action to flurry of blows.
You just use a key point.
Ba, ba, ba.
I think you should be able to, because if you don't have to expend anything else except the key point, technically instant speed.
When you make the attack action with an unarmed strike, a muck weapon, you can make a one-armed strike as a bonus action. So, unfortunately, no. You have to do it on your turn.
Well, I can still punch.
Yep, you still can punch the first wasp that comes at you. You see your reflection in its glassy little eyes as it flies towards you. These things, again, are quite big. They're probably about...
I would actually have my scimitar out.
Your scimitar? Your flip blade?
Yeah. Flipped my hand into a blade. And it comes up on a swing.
The pocket shank.
And that is... 8. So that'll be 15 to hit.
15 to hit? Yeah, I mean, that's enough to hit a wasp.
Beautiful. So then, D6 plus a D4, because it is enchanted. That is 5 damage. 5, 6, 7, 8 damage.
8 damage, yeah. So the first one comes towards you as your blade comes out, and you actually, like, pretty much slice it clean in half on both sides, like, flop to the side of you. Scaring Seal a day as suddenly there's just a bisected wasp coming towards him. But there's more than one, sadly. Does a 12 hit?
Nope. 19 AC, Shield of Faith. Ah.
Fizzle. Does a 13 hit?
Not even close.
So the first 3 that show, one gets cut in half. Another one just kind of goes to land on you, but it can't quite. And it's just kind of like buzzing angrily in your face, trying to like get at you. The other one comes towards Fizzle, and he just raises his shield, more or less putting it off for now. Then we get back to Sealiday.
Since I finished stretching and limbering myself up,
Yeah.
basically long strider, I'm going to take a look into the room, and I'm gonna let out a little call. Come on, Philip, do your job. And I'll spin my patch into the middle of the room.
Okay.
How big is the room, mind you?
As I said, it's about 30 feet in radius, so 60-foot diameter, and it's similar length to the roof, but it's only about 20 feet.
I have a 10-foot tall badger.
Okay, it will fill a big section of this room.
How big is this badger?
He's a 10-foot badger.
What the fuck, Sol?
The badger, as stated, was of a large class or a giant class? Yep. That's Philip. He's my bouncer.
He's your.
Alright. I will roll for Philip. Do you have... Is it a giant or a large badger? I'll find the stats.
It is... it says giant angry badger.
Giant angry... You got it. Alright. So that's your action, to throw Philip into the middle of the room. Does this... Poof, and suddenly he shows up. And he's big enough that he takes up... Do you throw him in the center of the room?
Yep, most likely.
So he knocks the crystal off of the dais, and the crystal like falls to the side, and it like thinks twice, and it kind of rolls slightly, and there's a little flutter, and the light goes out. And for any of you that don't have like dark vision, it is now a pitch black room with just the sound of buzzing things and angry badger noises. What do you want to do with your bonus action?
I'm still going to hold my... I'm gonna hold it, just in case, like, any more fuckery comes up. I'm just gonna be ready with another patch.
Alright. Henry is going to take his turn to, pull his stone out and try to see, and it's not enough, so he casts another spell to get some light. And the room illuminates, and you notice now suddenly Henry actually has a staff that's somehow manifested in his hand. And there's 3 globes of light, like, floating around it.
I'm not even gonna ask where you pulled that from.
We get the chick's turn.
There's an angry badger.
There's an angry badger.
Okay.
Angry badger noises?
Badger, badger, badger.
Badger, 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 badger.
Not sure how to handle this. So I'm just gonna
I came with the job of making things weird, and I have done it.
yeah.
I'm content.
I've got. I'm gonna cast light, but like blinding light forwards.
Yeah?
Yeah.
On? How? What?
My blade was enchanted with a light spell, and 4 times a day I can use it to blind.
Okay, so you want to just try to blind some of the wasps, eh?
Yeah.
Like a miniature flashbang as your blade flashes to life.
Yep.
Do you have stats for like a save on that or anything like that?
I do not believe so.
Is that radiant weapon? Is that what it is?
It was just I asked a guy.
Was this given to you by me or by the artificer?
It was. I think it was done by the artificer.
Alright. Then the artificer should have it.
I have a plus D4 to my scimitar, and I can cast the light cantrip through it, and 4 times on a reaction to blind. 4x reaction to blind.
If you can't find it, I'll make it up.
It's roughly the. Infusions. There we go. Radiant weapon. Radiant weapon. Constitution saving throw, which is a DC of 15.
15. Alright. Is that your turn? Or do you want to try
Is
to...
anything close enough to hit?
Yeah, there's the one wasp floating directly in front of you, batting its wings angrily towards you.
I'm gonna go ham on his ass.
Go ham.
I'm going to unleash Holy Fury. So
Are you
first
gonna go
off,
cheese?
I'm going to swing with my sword.
My sword.
That's a dirty 20.
That will hit.
And then I'm also going to use a key point for flurry of blows.
It's probably dead if you want to just roll damage first. You killed one with 7.
That's 9 on the dice.
Yep, so this one as well, you just like
Well, then
sliced
I'm going to
through it.
flurry of blows on the one that had been on the next closest one.
Alright, so the one by Fizzle?
Yeah.
Alright.
So that's 2 unarmed hit. So I slice through that one, and then I double punch the other one real quick from the side.
Pop, pop.
That's not 20.
Just speed bag
And then-
this.
Alright, you don't need to roll damage for this. It'll go down, and then we'll get to Fizzle's turn. So Fizzle,
Is there any other wasp nearby? Because I still have another attack.
they haven't had a chance to come down from their nest yet.
Okay.
It takes them a little bit of time to wake up.
Angry bad
To prevent me from motorballing the party. So, to prevent death balls, they're waking up slowly here. Fizzle, you your goggles are definitely a little fucked up at this point, as it was light, and then it was very dark, then there was a badger, then there was a glow behind you, then there was a flashbang that went off. You lower your shield slightly, and you see that now it's just covered in bug guts, and the one that was next to you is just gone in like
Ew.
that blink of the eye, and it's your turn.
Guys, should I take care of the crystal or the nest?
Nest. Yes.
Yeah, you also notice that the crystal's gone. It's someplace, probably on the other side of the dais where the badger knocked it, but there's a giant badger in the room, and he's taking up the majority of the room.
How big is that nest?
Not as big as a badger.
It's probably about... It takes the majority of the roof. It's probably about 20 feet fully across, and its depth, unknown, because you don't know how high the ceiling goes.
I would like to cast Shatter right in the center of it.
I suppose.
Okay.
Each creature in a 10-foot radius sphere centered on that point makes a con save. 3d8 thunder damage on a failed, or half as on a successful. Hey, not too bad. DC is 15, but once again.
So
Total damage
what's the total damage?
14.
14. You watch as the nest kind of like rips apart, and there's parts of wasps going everywhere. A few looks like they kind of survive, But then we get to the badger's turn, and he's angry, and he's getting stung, and he's trying to crawl his way up onto the roof to battle the rest of the wasps. We can probably drop initiative now, as that pretty much
This is what badgers are made to fight. Let's be honest here. Okay.
yeah,
I
like
love this.
the badger's like,
He
fuck
makes-
yeah.
They're meant to fuck their tails up.
This is the happiest he's ever been. He comes out.
Mortal Kombat with fucking wasps.
The only thing better to fight these would be like a black bear or a brown bear.
Or a machine gun.
Or the shadow spell cast onto their nest.
Which is probably what I should have done first.
So, the scene before you, the crystal's out. There's some various forms of light. There's a badger doing unspeakable things to any wasp it can grab, and there's some wasps futilely trying to sting at this thing as it's literally like there's like pieces of nest everywhere, and it's just like it's vacuuming it up as much as it can. It kind of snarls at you, Fizzle, as you're the one in the room,
Ooh, ooh.
but you back up, and it gets back to eating, but it's like, fucking, it's my food. It's eyeing you suspiciously. What do you guys want to do?
It's better to leave him be. He's a little handsy.
I'm
That's,
gonna
that's
start
why I
taking
hired him.
guts out of my gears.
So you're just cleaning yourself up?
I just start working on like picking out stingers and legs and shit, and I'm just like cleaning myself out.
Okay.
Flip my sword back into a hand.
Alright, you can also see now that the nest is gone, it looks like there's an opening in the roof. And Henry's kind of like, he's peeking his head in, and he's looking at the mosaics, and he's taking out a journal, and he's jotting down some notes.
I'm gonna go check out that crystal.
Alright, roll an animal handling check.
Oh, great. Oh, that's charisma based, I think. Which makes it 10.
10. You like start to walk towards the crystal, and like Philip turns on you, and he starts making angry badger sounds, and he's like jumping and like slamming his paws into the ground. Like it's a very big display where he's like, fuck off.
Tell him to back off or something.
I don't speak badger. He was my bouncer, not my friend.
It's like moving towards you, and it's still like pounding the ground as it goes.
I'll take a hesitant step forward at his request. It's like, Henry, let's be civil. Philip, sorry, Philip.
Roll an animal handling check with disadvantage.
Stop Henry Jacobson!
Oh, God. The one? The one?
I rolled 2 1s.
2-1. He
You can choose.
he swats at you at your right leg.
Can I put
Hold,
both of them?
no. This
Can
is
I
happening. Hold on, baby.
Okay.
You got 2 nat
Let it happen.
ones. And
Yeah, but take pity on me.
You
I'm stupid.
you don't feel it, but the badger starts just like, if it could scream, it screams. And you see there's like blood on its paw, and there's like pieces of glass in its paw. And it goes fucking mad, and it jumps at you. I need you to now try to do your dex saving throw, or your tumble.
Yeah, that's a great bouncer there.
Yes.
Diaper power. I got a 17.
It's not enough. The badger's on top of you, and it bites down. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
17.
When I'm not wearing a dress, my AC is 14.
Alright.
I'm assuming this is equivalent of
You
a
feel-
wizard's diaper.
Badger teeth just digging into your shoulder, and it starts like just like shaking you
Can I
violently.
go now?
What do you want to do?
Boop him in the nose and tell him, Henry Jacobson, no! Stop it! Spit him out!
Henry's like, what am I doing? Roll an animal handling check.
Do I have advantage? Like the boob snoot to
No,
display my.
you got his name wrong as well. You don't get advantage.
Okay. That is a 15.
15. Yeah, like he lets go of Celia and he moves back to like the far corner of the room and he starts like pounding the ground again and is like eyeing you guys.
I'm gonna grab one of the limbs that I had stuffed into my mini bags.
Do you
Want the leg? Want the leg? I'm gonna throw it. Go get the leg!
Why do you throw the leg?
To the opposite corner of the room.
Okay. Roll animal handling again.
17.
17. It like moves towards the leg, and it's away from the crystal now, but it's still like just fucking mad. It's a mean badger. Philip's not down for this, and you see he's a little gentle on the paw that has all the glass shards in it from your diaper.
That is not something I thought I would hear today.
You can go grab the crystal now if you want it, Fizzle. You can unmute yourself now if you want, Fizzle.
Go grab it now and ba-ba-bum.
Perhaps you should attempt to sneak.
I'm not very good at that.
Or allow me to
honestly.
grab it.
Too late. I'm already grabbing it.
Okay. So you grab and like the badger's like making fucking like he's staring daggers. If looks could kill.
I'm fuck
If
it at
badgers
this point.
could
I'm just
kill.
staring back.
If
Fuck that badger.
You want to
Don't
go
look
with
him
the
in
badger?
eyes. He takes it as a threat.
But I'll grab the crystal and like. You know what? Fuck it. I'm stepping outside of the room.
Okay,
Then I'll
so
take a look at it.
you retreat from the badger. He changes his attention back to Sealiday.
I'm going since. Man.
I'm standing above Sealiday.
Above?
And my hips.
You're facing off against the dreaded Philip.
Yeah. I'm giving him as dirty a look as a 2-year-old bioforged can give. Considering I have a steel mask for a face.
Okay.
Since we need to go, can I, since is kind of staring daggers at Philip, can I use back as a springboard?
To do what?
There's a hole in the ceiling, and I want to go up. I have a climbing speed.
Sure, yeah, you can make it to the hole.
Okay,
Roll
I'm gonna
an
take.
acrobatics check for me.
Oh, fuck yeah, bud. Oh, fuck yeah, bud. Put baby in the corner.
Alright,
Except in this case, it's a hole.
so you're staring at this thing. I'm assuming you got a high roll, right?
It has a 24.
24. And
I have a 10 strength.
huh?
I have a 10 strength.
10 strength.
I'm also only like
It's right, he
100
moves
and-
fast enough. He moves fast enough. You're looking at this thing, and suddenly you feel a weight on your shoulders, and like you kind of like you move forward, and like Philip like he gets mad at you again, and he starts pounding the ground, and you rate your posture, and you look over your shoulder, and Sealidae's gone, and you look up, and you just see his little boots hanging. Sealidae, you're gonna use your climbing speed to climb up the rest of this way, and it goes up a little bit. It's probably about a foot, you know, and then you get to a lip and you're into another chamber.
Okay.
I'm
But-
gonna back out of the room and half close the door.
In this chamber, you can see combs, and it looks like there's maggots in everywhere. And then you also see someone who's just like sitting back, and you make eye contact with that same jackal figure, and he's just kind of like, "You shouldn't be here," and he starts moving towards you. Are you climbing it up? Are you letting go? What are you doing? You say
Go.
nothing. He's
I
moving
drop.
towards you.
Oh, sorry, wrong address. Just slide down.
Can you make an animal handling check?
He's a fucking animal.
Not the badger. You just scared the badger again. What did you-
I don't want to scare the badger. I'm up in the ceiling.
You let go. You said I'm dropping.
Animal handling. Fuck. Wisdom.
Charisma.
I was laying the dogs out. What happened?
Wisdom.
Is it wisdom?
Yeah. So that's an
Wisdom.
18.
18. Yeah. So you drop and like Philip
I'm a
moves
ball.
towards you, and you quickly like put your hand out, and you stop there, and like he stops. What are you doing next? You see
We
Chick
had an
Chicks.
agreement.
You see Chick Chicks going to the door, and
Philip, we had an agreement. You fight the fights that I cannot fight. Up there. Lots of food. And I'll do like a little shrill dog whistle. I'm like, he's up there?
Philip is just giving you the same territorial display.
And I'll reach down while like maintaining posture. So like I'm gonna grab one of the pieces of the hive and I'm gonna gesture like you want the ball? You want the ball? And I'll just kind of toss it and I'll see if I can try and get it up the hole.
Roll attack roll with Dex.
Okay. Okay, yeah, that was a +2. I'm just blind. So that was a 17.
17? Yeah, it goes up and you hear it land on something. I just need to know, and Fizzle. Fizzle, you went first. You grabbed the crystal. What are you doing? You said you exited the room with it.
I'm trying to figure out what the hell it is.
Well, an arcane check
Lick
for
it.
me.
Excuse me.
Oh, that is not good. Arcana. 13.
13. You've heard of this. You can see it has some sort of enchantment on it that gives light. But you also aware that sometimes these things are used to hold information. And with the proper command, it could probably repeat something. They're kind of used as like a way to store information.
Totally not what I thought this thing was. Crap.
So that's what you're doing. I need to know what Chick Chick's doing, but they're not here. And I need to know so then I can decide what else is going to happen. Yes. Damn, Mail has a lot of stuff in her room, eh?
Yep.
Oh my god, I'm a moron.
Yes. Why?
I totally could have opened up that fight with using the fireball wand.
I mean,
Whoops.
you literally, as you open the door, I'm like, fireball?
Nope.
Okay.
Well, she'll be coming around the mountain when she comes.
No, she won't.
That's what she said.
We'll tell you, we'll get back to her when she gets here. Seal day. You're facing off an angry badger. You can hear the sound of footsteps on the floor above you. Philip is just giving you that same territorial display. What are you doing?
Considering I used him as my bouncer, can I try and encourage him to go up?
Did you use him as your bouncer, though?
That far into the backstory.
Roll a D100.
I'll take what I can get. 82.
82, eh? I mean, he looks like he's interested in the hole now. He's not really, like, staring daggers at you. He's more, like, focused on that.
I'll just be like... And I'll just kind of sit my weight down.
Are you
Being careful to
are
nurse
you
my,
moving away from the dais? Are you staying in the room?
Like, I don't want to do anything that'll take his eyes away from the hole. So I'm just going to slowly kneel down.
Like, you're directly below the hole. Right? You let go. You fall down, not to the side. You're directly below the hole.
Okay. Yeah, then I'll, like, slowly back away 5 or 10 feet and then just kneel down. And I'll just be like...
Alright, but you're not leaving the room? Alright, Chick Chick said they're closing the door, I believe,
Yep.
before they left.
I'm still gonna hold my my patch as a held action. Any fuckery.
Alright. Well, you can hear the sound of something up above you happening, and you hear the sound of wings beating. It sounds like it's getting louder and more intense.
Can I use sending on Fizzlets?
It's a spell slot, yeah?
Yep.
Alright.
Second level.
As long as
You
you're
mean message?
spending the spell slot, you can. 25 words.
In the hole, in the room, B-boy. I want Philip to fight. Reply.
Do you want Raoul's arm?
So that's the
That's all
last.
you reply.
That's the last
Throw
thing
it
you
up.
hear.
Throw up there.
That's the last thing you hear is, do you want Raoul's arm? And then you watch as almost a solid mass of bees comes down through that hole and it starts filling the room. And that's where we will end today's episode.
Ah.
So,
So,
thank you guys
up.
for
Why
joining
does
us.
it get, like, loud feedback? Why do they just do that sometimes?
I don't know. I was just waiting for that to end. Anyways, yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please hit that like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in 2 Wednesdays' time when hopefully we conclude the Freeman mini-series. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Alright.
Bye.